From New Smyrna Speedway in Florida. Hey, welcome to some short track racing, and we're talking short track here tonight, Cowboy. And this is a 0.48 mile track down here in Florida. And we're set to go 200 laps here tonight with Integrity Racing, sponsored by the Pro Powder and Paint. And I'll tell you what, Trevor Cameron in the booth with me tonight. Chad is on vacation or somewhere having a good old time. But I'll tell you what, it's me and Trevor here in the booth tonight. So looking for a fun race here tonight, Trevor.
Yeah, Chad's out on secret assignment, out in somewheres in a jungle somewheres I'm going to go with, but glad that you could join me up here in the booth here, JD. We're here at New Smyrna. This is going to be interesting. I mean, this is these trucks out here on this short track, and there's a lot of chase implications out here. So I'm guessing by the end of the night we're going to see a lot of crumpled fenders and maybe a couple of mad drivers out there.
Yeah, you think? Well, I'll tell you what, it'll be a bumper banging, wall banging, door slamming night for sure here tonight. Short track racing. But let's talk about Kansas, Trevor. Last week, James Hudson walked away with the trophy. Brad Patton with a solid second place finish. And Christopher Schella coming in third. And rounding out the top five here, Michael Stroll with a good finish at Kansas last week.
Yeah, and Brad Patton had that good race, and of course he's our leader currently in the Rookie of the Year, sponsored by Butt Kicker there, so that was a good points night for him. But James Hudson's also nipping at his heels there, and he won that race, so that tightened up that race just a little bit more, so it should be interesting to see where they sit after tonight.
You know, and Cody Kusner was a possible for a top finish at Kansas last week, led 28 of the, I believe it was 125 laps. But after 9 cautions, Cody suffered some damage about three-quarters of the way through the race and was not able to finish. So Cody finishing on the grid in 16th position. But difficult race for some. But I'll tell you what, James Hudson had a good night. Led 68 of the 125 laps. So good night for that car of his.
Yeah, definitely. It was a heartbreaker for Cody there because he was one of the trucks to beat for sure until he got that damage in that race there. So it allowed a couple of other people to get up there that might not have otherwise had good finishes. Daniel Holloway finished in 6th position, which was a great finish for him. He's also looking to be into the chase as well, but that was a really strong finish for his truck.
And let's go with the points here with the Integrity Racing. And I tell you what, this is shaping up. It's going to be a pretty good finish of the season when we get to the Chase Series. Michael Duell, he's up a position this week, and sits at the number 1 position up there. Jacob Fife slips down a notch, and I believe it's because he was not at Kansas last week. Jacob is 16 behind Michael Duell. And then Matthew Wright sits in 3rd position. No movement for him this week. And Matthew, unfortunately, finishing 20th last week at Kansas. Michael Duell finished 13th at Kansas, I should remark. And then Jeff Barger, a new movement for him in 4th position. He's 171 behind. And then Bruce Koenig, he sits in 5th position. No movement for him either. He finished 17th at Kansas. 6 through 10 there, Trevor.
Yeah, Daniel Holloway, who I just mentioned there, he drives the 26 truck there. He's moved up a position into 6th position, so he's solidly into that chase contention after to see how we finish up tonight. Alan Roll moves up 2 positions, up to 7, and Brian Harvey dropped 2 positions. I don't believe he was at Kansas there last week, and that probably accounted for that, and he's in 8th position. Jim Papa Fife dropped a position. He had a rough night at Kansas there, and that's why he lost position there. And rounding out the current chase drivers, we have Brad Patton. We just talked about it a bit earlier. He had actually just jumped into the top 10 with that strong finish last week, so we'll see if he can hold on to it.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, the Butt Kicker Rookie of the Year standings look like this. Brad Patton out in front of Hudson. Hudson sitting in 2nd position. In 3rd is Kunstner. Freeman in 4th position. So that's your top 4 with the Butt Kicker Rookie of the Year award.
Yeah, and that's, like I said, I mean, that's really tight at the top of that. And that's the way that works is their top 17 finishes out of the year count. So that's not done yet. They'll go into the chase. Some of these drivers are going to be in the chase as well, but those positions are going to continue to change throughout the rest of the season here and into the chase. But it is they're only separated by 6 positions from first to second in there, and another 7 back to third. So that is a tight race.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, this will probably be a pretty good series all the way through to the end, to the last race. So keep your eye on the butt kicker rookie of the rookie. Well, that's about a mouthful. Rookie of the Year award points. But you know what? Let's talk about pit stops here tonight. I understand that they do limit these drivers to 4 pit stops. Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. And one thing to notice here with this being a short track here, I mean, there's going to be a lot of guys getting some damage, and the tires are going to wear a little bit more on this track as well. So they're going to have to play that into their strategy over 200 laps. But so that's they're not going to be able to come down and grab fresh rubber every single caution that happens. So.
You bet. And qualifying is underway here at New Smyrna. Right now, Andrew Fayesh is sitting at the top of the pile with a 17.529. Right behind him with a lickety-split time at 17.572 is Christopher Schella, and Matt Busa sitting third right now. Qualifying still underway here at New Smyrna. What's new with the iRacing Today radio show, Trevor?
We've actually introduced a new segment there. We've partnered up with iRacer Stuff, I believe the website is, and we've added a segment. We're doing news and rumors from their website, and we're actually going to be premiering another segment, which I'll just kind of leave in the bag on Monday here. So we're continually adding new segments in there so we can give what the fans want out of that show and give them some iRacing news and information.
You've had a lot. I'll tell you what, we're having a good time with the Rewind BS and Backtalk radio show, too. But, iRacing Today radio show, that's on Monday nights at, I believe it's 8 o'clock p.m., is that right?
That would be 8:30 Eastern Time p.m. on, it's 6:30 to me because I'm, way over in the mountains. But, 8:30 Eastern on Mondays.
All right, and I'll tell you what, and it's good to have you along for the ride up here. Actually, I'm the one actually along for the ride here. Chad usually sits in this seat, but it's kind of fun to be up here with Trevor. It's not very often when I get to work with Trevor Cameron up here from the iRacing Today radio show for sure. But I'll tell you, 200 laps here at New Smyrna. This is a very short track. It's only, like I said before, it's 0.4. Not even a half a mile, less than a half a mile, banking at 18, 20 degrees into turns. Kind of reminds me of that other short track of a little bit longer length, Salem, but 4 turns here, obviously. It's an asphalt track, a little bit better shape than Salem Speedway is. But I'll tell you what, for 200 laps here tonight, 19 drivers, it's going to be a wall banging, bumper banging, door slamming night here for sure.
Yeah, I mean that's one thing that Integrity has done throughout the season is they've mixed things up a little bit. I mean they've got obviously your normal oval tracks. They've got some road courses that they do in here as well, and they threw in a couple of short tracks here just to kind of make things interesting. And this is the sort of track that you normally see a late model or a modified on, and to have the power of these trucks out there, I'm not sure how this is going to work out. I'm guessing there's going to be some interesting moments out there, JD.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, let's go ahead and take it down trackside for the national anthem.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof ne'er yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
And a big thank you to the Cactus Cuties for the national anthem, and of course the virtual Thunderbirds for the flyby. Hey, let's take them down through the lineup here, starting out on the pole here tonight. The number 77, Andrew Fish on the inside. Outside him in the number 02, that's Christopher Shella. In third, the number 34, that belongs to Matt Busa. Outside him in fourth position, the number 18, that's Brad Patton. Daniel Holloway, he'll be starting on the inside in the number 26 truck, and on the outside of him, Jim Fife in that number 63. In seventh position, the number 36, that belongs to Jacob Fife. Bruce Koenig, he'll be starting in the number 69 in eighth position. In ninth, Brian Harvey, that's him in that number 66. The 06 belongs to William Karp, Trevor.
Starting in 11th position, we have the 00 of Nick Stoller. Beside him, in 12th position, we have the 91 of Cody Kutzner. Starting in 13th, we have the 19 of Bobby Keith. The 88, our points leader, Michael Duell, in 14th position. Starting in 15th, we have the 27 of Michael Gingrella. We'll have to figure out how to say that before the end of the night. In 16th, we have the number 6 of Jeffrey Gingrella. And the 17th, 44 of James Hickson. We have the 17 of Chris Freeman starting in 18th position. In 19th, we have 94 of Alan Roll. And at the back of the field, we have the 7 of Brendan Kohler.
And I'll tell you what, I'm going to call it Gingerella as well. Michael and Jeffrey Gingerella here tonight. One in the 27 truck, the other one in the 6 truck. So keep an eye on those two cowboys. Andrew Fayesh the third. He'll be picking up the green flag here as we work our way around the track behind the pace car. 2 laps here before we get this thing rolling. Pace car's pulling out, just inching forward here just a little bit. It'll take that left-hand turn down pit road, and we'll get the ball rolling here at New Smyrna Speedway for 200 laps of door-banging, wall-banging, short-track action. Andrew Fish off to the start here as the green flag comes out. Huge run for the 77 off the start here. Christopher Shella up on the outside. Matt Busa in the 34 coming along in third.
Yeah, that was a good start by the 77 truck, and just what he wanted to see. He wanted to see some open air in front of him, and it looks like we have a challenge for the number 2 position. Oh, the 34 drops back a little bit and decides better sticking his nose in there quite so early.
18 car of Brad Patton, he gets wicked loose coming off of turn 2 back there. Gets it straightened out, building that confidence back up again as he chases down the leaders up here in the front row. Single file all the way back till you get to about Bruce Koenig, 6th and 7th position back here in 36. That's Jacob Fife back here in 7th position. Looking for a way around, but can't find it. And it's like Bruce Koenig works that bottom lane down there, manages to hang on to 6th position here. But single file all the way back to the back until you get to Jim Fife, the 13 up on the top side with the 19 on the bottom. That's Bobby Keith.
Yeah, actually, I was watching that 63 truck of Jim Papa Fife. He started in 6th position. He's fallen all the way back to 14th. He struggled on that start and has now just finally gotten in line as he got freight train way to the back.
Watching these guys through practice today, looks like a lot of them trying to search for that premium line around New Smyrna Speedway. Looks like it may be on the bottom through the turns here for now, but we'll see as the night wears on, the tires wear out. Of course, the trucks get a little bit lighter as they use that fuel up. Right now, it's all about Andrew Fish. He's got a run on second place here. Christopher Shella about a half a second behind here. Still early in the game, 6 laps in the books here at New Smyrna, so we got a long ways to go here tonight.
Yeah, and another truck that was having some problems out there, the 44 of James Hickson. I think he might have scraped the wall because he all of a sudden lost a lot of speed and then just fell way to the back. He's just dropping right now behind the 19 car, and I believe he's now back in 18th position. He was way up towards the front of that pack there, but I think he scraped the wall and just dropped right back as he lost all that speed.
Back here in 11th position, Michael Duell, points leader, coming into New Smyrna here tonight. Remember, he's up a couple of notches this week. Michael Duell, he's got quite a few out in front of him. Cody Kutzner out in front of him. Remember, Cody from last week led 28 of the 125 laps, but had a bad night at Kansas. But Cody looking for a little bit of redemption here at New Smyrna here tonight. But I'll tell you what, Cowboy, there's a ton of trucks. Of course, Cowboy, like I say, there's a herd of trucks in front of him here. William Karp in the 9th position, that 06 machine, and a single file all the way to the front here. So you get up to around 2nd and 3rd position here. Busel looking for a way around the 02. As the 02 gets a little bit sideways, the battle's on for 2nd and 3rd place up here in the front.
Yeah, and he slips right back in behind there. He's going to try that each and every lap as long as he's got a shot at that rear quarter panel. He's going to make a try to stick, and one of these times he's going to. I mean, Matt Busa is a heck of a racer, and I know he'll just keep trying until he either makes it work or he does no choice but to drop back.
And he does, he kind of drops back behind when he clears the turn up here, but he's working the bottom. And I think, almost getting out of shape here, coming off of turn 4, but he's looking for a way around the 02 up here. That's Christopher Schella. Schella had been running that top side up there. Horsepower prevails. Busa cannot get the job done, so he's going to fall behind here a little bit and kind of regroup. But in the meantime, right behind Busa is Brad Patton in that number 18 machine. He's coming on strong as well. And I tell you what, Patton up a position. He had that good finish at Kansas last week, so he's also looking for a good finish here at New Smyrna here tonight.
Yeah, just to update our fans here, looks like the 94 truck of Alan Roll is pulled it behind the garage. I'm not sure what happened there. I think he might have had some sort of electrical problem, and he's no longer on the track and just losing all these laps here. Also, that 44 truck of James Hickson that I mentioned was struggling a little bit earlier. He has also gone a lap down, so he's sitting in that lucky dog position if we happen to have a caution right now. But like I said, he was struggling and has already lost a lap, which is probably going to happen real quick here.
Yeah, and another one to mention here is the 27 of Michael Gingerella. He fell way back, 12 seconds behind the leader, almost 13 seconds. And actually, if you're, I think the 44, I just caught this out of the window here. The 44 of James Hickson went around.
Oh, we have caution on the track here.
And a caution. Okay, let's go back up to the front here. And yeah, we got a huge caution happening on the track here. Looks like it's going to be Bruce Koenig involved in this one as we roll it backwards here and find out who the victims are with our first caution. Koenig in the 69 machine gets out of shape. Looks like he just gets out of shape on the front stretch here behind Daniel Holloway. Has to check up. That brings the 36, who's right on Koenig's bumper. That's Jacob Fife right into Koenig. The 36 truck of Jacob Fife goes around and also collects the 66 of Brian Harvey.
Yeah, it looks like our points leader, Michael Duell, got a little bit of damage there as well. So both the team trucks, the 88 and the 36, got some damage on that, and that's our first and second in points right now.
Yeah, it was actually, while that caution was happening, I was actually going backwards looking at the 44. This happened on lap 1. The 44 truck comes off, I believe it was turn 2, and just gets out of shape sideways on the track, loses a bunch of positions, and no damage to the 44 on that one. But catching up to our first caution of the night here tonight, looks like pit road. Doesn't look like anybody's taken the opportunity to come down pit road quite yet, other than our victims to get some repairs.
Yeah, we had the 36 truck there, and the other guy who was involved there, I just lost his truck number there.
Could have been, well, there was a whole bunch of them involved. 36, 66 truck was involved. The 88 I saw come, of course, that was the last, he was the last one involved, come off the turn, of course, just kind of went sliding on into the group there. But there was 2 or 3 of them involved.
Yeah, it was a 66 truck I was thinking of here, but unfortunately, you gotta hate it when your mouth starts talking, your brain stalls out, and leaves you stranded.
Yeah, I know how that works. But the first caution of the night here tonight, and of course, again, the race is being sponsored by the Pro Powder and Paint, Trevor, and of course, with the Butt Kicker Rookie of the Year award, Butt Kicker, I believe it's buttkicker.com if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah, let's check the plug sheet for that one there, JD. I'm not too sure. I haven't brought that page, but I know you can go to Pro Powder and Paint at propowderandpaint.com, and that's the main sponsor of this wonderful series here at Integrity Racing League. So make sure you go over there, and if you're in Virginia, then obviously take advantage of their services.
There you go. And here's the it's Brad Patton's birthday. We're hearing from the office or from the trailer down there. Laura Lawson, of course, doing a wonderful job on the cameras here tonight. But hearing it's Brad Patton's birthday.
Well, that will be after his strong finish last week at Kansas. Maybe he can, get into Victory Circle and celebrate. Maybe they'll bring him a cake instead of a case of beer out there in Victory Circle if he can pull off a win tonight.
There you go. I was gonna see if you wanted to sing him happy birthday, but on the other hand, hey, pace cars off. We're back at Green Flag Racing. Andrew Fayesh picks up another green flag for the night here at New Smyrna. Chris Michella up on the outside. Matt Busa working that strong inside down there. Remember, he tried to give Shella a run for his money, but could not get the job done on the bottom. Shella's still up on the top side. Busa looking for a way around on the bottom. Cannot get that job done. Neck and neck down the front stretch. But I'll tell you what, to 77, watching all that in his rear view mirror. Cody Kunstner on the other hand, in the 91 in fourth position, watching Busa and Shella go after it here on lap 23.
Yeah, one thing we're noticing here, although it looks like Matt's getting a little bit of progress here, is that inside line is just not working. I don't know if it's, you probably have to slow down just a little bit too much, and that top line has all that momentum, but a lot of the guys are trying the bottom line, but the problem is they need to do that bottom line through the corner and slide up in order to take advantage of that momentum, and when you're squeezed down there trying to make that pass, you do not have that luxury.
That's that 20-degree banking up near the top, up near that wall. It gets a little bit steeper, so that's probably giving the O2 a little bit of help up there. In the meantime, a little bit flatter down on the bottom. You're absolutely right. Matt Busa having a heck of a time staying in the throttle. Has to get off the throttle a little bit sooner. The O2 can hang on to it just a little bit longer. As you can see, horsepower prevailing on the top side up here, but hey, behind them, we'll go all the way back here, and it's single file racing all the way to the back of the pack here. With the 27, Michael Gingerella in 15th position, almost making contact with the 63. That's going to be Jim Fife back here. So single file racing from about second place all the way to the back here, guys.
Yeah, and one thing too is Matt trying to make that pass down on the inside. I mean, he has got to be burning up his tires something fierce trying to hold that line through that corner where the O2 has the advantage of just kind of rolling it through the corners and not beating up his truck so bad. So I wonder if that's going to affect him a little bit later on down into the race here.
Some side-by-side action on the screen here by Laura Lawson down on the trailer, pushing the buttons on the cameras tonight for you. I'll tell you what, there is no better as we watch the action develop up here in the front. And I'll tell you what, the O2 still working that top side. Busa keeps looking from the inside for a way around. Just can't get the job done. I'm wondering, and the O2 gets sideways in the turn. The 91 now comes alongside the 34 up here. Looks like the O2 might be in a little bit of handling trouble here. Looks like Busa taking another run on the bottom here. Looks like he's going to prevail off the turn as he gets sideways.
Yeah, I bet you Matt had just given up on that attempt to pass there just as the O2 got a little bit sideways. Bet he was wishing he was inside then because he would have made the pass easy, but he manages to make the pass anyway. It looks like the O2 is still trying to recover as he wiggles a little bit into the corner.
You had, and let's go back here to about ninth position. Michael Duell still kind of mired back here in ninth. A little bit of damage to the back end of his truck, the left rear back here, or the right rear rather, on his pickup truck. And Jeffrey Gingerella having a good night. Top 10 for him in 8th position up here in the 6th. Sounds like the 88. Yeah, that's the 88 truck. Sorry.
Yeah, no, sorry about that, JD. I was talking back down to the booth there, but I just wanted to mention the 88 truck there has that damage in the rear corner. You remember he was involved in that last accident, but he did not come down to pit road because as our fans know that these guys get one get-out-of-jail-free card. They get one reset on their truck, and with a 200-lap race around such a short track, you don't want to use that too early because once you get damaged and you go down there, you get that new truck, that's it. It's over, so you want to save that for when you really need it. So I think that's what Michael's done in that 88 truck. He says, you know what, I'm just going to ride it out and use that if I get any better damage.
And Christopher Shella gives up that second position up here already as he is now having some troubles with his machine. Shella drifting back to 6th position. That was Bobby Keith and Brad Patton go around. Matt Busa occupies that second position. Here comes Cody Kunstler in that number 91 machine. He was side by side with Busa here just a little bit ago. And then also Christopher Shell. Vachella now going backwards here a little bit, almost breaking loose on a couple of the turns here. And sounds like the 66 and the 88 machine side by side here as well. Back here 9th and 10th position. That's Michael Dool and Brian Harvey. Harvey in the 66 on the bottom. That's where Michael Busa was when he went around the 02, as Harvey makes it around Michael Dool in the 88.
Yeah, and those three trucks that you see on the screen there, the 66, the 36, and the 88, were all involved in that last accident that we had for our caution here. So these are guys that had fallen to the back and are trying to work their way back up front.
And Jacob 5, he makes it past the 88 as well. So Jacob also with damage on the, looks like it's on the left rear of his truck as well. So Jacob involved in that first caution here back on lap 18 here at New Smyrna Speedway.
Well, we have caution on the track here.
And the caution comes out again as we cycle around to find out who the unsuspecting victims are of this one. I'm hearing it's a 63 machine of Jim Fife as we roll it backwards here, Trevor. And looks like he had a little help out of the 69 here on lap 37. Roll it backwards here just a little bit more.
Oh, yeah, it looks like the 63 had the 69 on the outside and tried to slide up and didn't realize he was there and caught his front corner and ended up putting himself into the wall.
Spotter up there on the spotter tower chewing on a hot dog most likely. 63, you're absolutely right, up into the 69. Around he goes. Takes a huge hit on the outside wall here. So Jim Fife in the 63 truck with severe damage to that machine of his. Looks like the 69 got away with a few scrapes and bruises on the outside wall here. That's Bruce Koenig, still down here in 17th position. 35 laps in the books here at New Smyrna, so second caution of the night.
Yeah, and that's for Jim Papa Fife in that 63 truck there. That's that puts him a lap down. He couldn't get the truck going before the pace car caught him there, and he's sitting in 9th position right now as he tries to make his way into the chase. So, and he doesn't have a huge cushion there, so that could have some implications as we move forward.
You bet. And while we're working second caution of the night, let's step away and take a commercial break. You're watching live, ETVLive Cowboy, Integrity Racing in New Smyrna Speedway. Don't wander off. We'll be right back.
It's time for those most famous words in motorsports. Travis, start your engines!
Michael Conti comes up at a corner number 4, and the checkered flag, he wins his first NASCAR highlight.
And picking up the green flag as we come back from commercial, Andrew Fayes Jr. That's the third one of the night for him. Brad Patton in second, Bobby Keith, Christopher Shella still inside the top 5 up here. Brian Harvey in the number 66 in 5th. And I'll tell you what, we were watching Matt Busa earlier duke it out with the 02 machine of Christopher Shella. Matt has restarted 13th all the way in the back here. So he's got his work cut out for him to get back up there and mix it up with Shella again. In the meantime, Andrew Fayes Jr., Andrew Fayes the third, has held down the Ford up here in front pretty much all night long, right from the get-go. He is your pole setter for the night here at New Smyrna. And I tell you what, Trevor, working backwards from him, pretty much single file all the way back, get to 34, Matt Busa. He's all the way up to 6th position. Remember, he started 13th, so he's coming on strong as the 88 Michael Duell struggles to stay alive here at New Smyrna with 45 laps in the books.
Yeah, Andrew Fish has definitely gotten those restarts down. He's had 3 opportunities at him, and he's not looked back on single one. Nobody's even been able to challenge him for the lead. He just gets out in front and just keeps moving forward as Matt Busa does the same as he gets into the 19 truck of Cody Kutzner and turns him around.
And that is Matt Busa in the 34 involved in this caution and coming right off the turn here. Let me get it forward here. It looks like Kutzner might have gotten sideways just a little tiny bit, but comes down. Looks like the 19 might have had a little bit of difficulty maneuvering through that turn. Busa really can't go anywhere. I mean, he's on the throttle coming off the turn, and of course it's just too little too late into the side of the 19.
Yeah, well, I mean, you get into those corners there, and all of a sudden the guy ahead of you just has that little bit of a bobble. You're so close to his corner. I mean, he was getting ready to set him up for a pass, and, there's just no room. There's just no time to react, and all of a sudden you're in his corner, and you're turning him around. I know Matt doesn't race like that, so I'm sure it was not intentional, just a mistake there. He's already apologized over the radio network, and I'm sure we'll see nothing further of that. These guys get dropped back. I don't think anybody had any serious damage, so I think we'll be fine.
You've had 49 laps in the books. You remember 200-lap race at New Smyrna Speedway here tonight, so we are 25% of the way through here as we approach that 50-lap mark. And I was looking for my plug sheet. I finally found it. Let's do one for Butt Kicker Gamer 2, sponsoring the Integrity Racing League Rookie of the Year Award. The Butt Kicker Gamer 2 lets you feel all of the action from your games and simulators. Feel the gut-wrenching punch of the machine gun fire, the pounding of chopper blades, explosions, rumbles, strips, and more. Turn it down or turn it off. And I'll tell you what, you can still feel all the bass. Movies, video games, and music come to life, even using the headphones. You can give your game some realism. It's a silent subwoofer that lets you feel the explosions, crashes, and special effects. Butt Kicker Gamer 2 at thebuttkicker.com.
Yeah, and while you're giving that plug to that plug, I'm not sure entirely what that is, but while you're giving that plug to that great company there, we had the 88, the 26 truck, the 44, and the 27 all came down to the attention of their pit crews. Looks like Michael Duell might have used his reset earlier, and I must have missed it because he still has that damage on that truck, and he's definitely been down pit road. I watched him do it, and he's still got that right rear quarter just squished in there.
And I think at plugging out. Laura downstairs in her trailer interacting with the broadcast crew up here. Of course, that goes on continuously. You just got to spend some time up here. We do have some fun, but I'll tell you what, 51 laps in the books here at New Smyrna, and it's been a bumper banging night here already. 3 cautions here, actually a pretty good race. I mean, this is nothing less than what I would expect at any given night on a short track. For sure. And hey, you know what? Short track Saturday night, and you're watching live on ETVLive. Lights are off on the pace car, Trevor, so we're getting ready to do this one more time. Andrew Fayes, he'll pick up his 4th green flag. He's got a pile of them laying in the seat next to him here with Brad Patton up on the outside this time. The 02, Christopher Schella, who was usually, he's been duking it out with Matt Busa up here for quite a while. Now he's got Brian Harvey and Brad Patton to mix it up with on this restart. So your top 5 looks like this: Andrew Fish, Brad Patton, Christopher Schella, Brian Harvey, and Cody Kutzner. Green flag comes out, and we're back to racing here at New Smyrna. 77 again gets off to a big jump, and he just motors right on out in front of the 18 here. And going backwards from the 18, everybody's single file to 66. Brian Harvey up on the outside, giving a position. Cody Kutzner manages to get around him. And then William Karp in the 06 machine back here struggling just a little bit as Jeffrey Ginderella squeaks by in the number 6.
Yeah, it looks like the 77 there almost stacked up the field a little bit before that restart, and there was a little bit of a checkup accordion there, but it looks like everybody's bumpers are all intact, and he's got that lead that he's been used to, except for he has the 18 truck behind him, which normally it's been the 02 or the 34 behind him, but he doesn't look like he's stretching it out as much as he had in the past there. The 18 truck doesn't look like he's going to be letting him go this time.
You know, the other curious thing too, the O2 Christopher Schella, you know, no struggle for him the first part of this race, but now looks like he's struggling here a little bit as I believe that Cody Kunzner in the 91 got by him. Remember back, the O2 was battling it out with Matt Busa in that number 34 machine for second and third, but Christopher Schella giving up a couple here. Yeah, with about 25% of the race already gone by. So wondering if that O2 is not having some kind of difficulty here at New Smyrna at 57 laps in.
Yeah, I don't believe he's come down to the attention of his pit crew yet, as well as these guys are on a lot of split strategies. And speaking of which, we have the 88 truck, Michael Duell. He came down and had 4 fresh tires on there. And he is, right now, he has moved his way all the way up to 8th position, and he is on the outside of the 26 of Daniel Holloway. As the 66 is on the outside of the 6 right ahead of him. It's he actually had a run and would have actually made that pass, but they basically just blocked the track in front of him, racing their own race. So Michael Duell probably would have been up to 5th position by now.
And 2 laps ago, Cody Kunzner puts his machine right next to Andrew Faish in the 77. A new leader, Andrew Faish, gives it up to Cody Kunzner in the 91. First time tonight, our pole sitter in the 77 machine has to give it up to the 91. Cody Kunzner looking for a redemption here at New Smyrna after a poor finish at Kansas last week. Cody Kunzner moves out to the front of Andrew Faish. Brad Patton in 3rd position. Christopher Schella still inside the top 5, sitting there in 4th position. But here comes Jeffrey Gingerella in 6th here tonight at New Smyrna. So a little bit of shake up here with 60 laps in the books. I'll tell you what, 200 laps on the board here tonight, so we got plenty of action coming your way right here live on ETV Live on Channel 2. So if you're not tuned in, you need to tune in now, Cowboy.
Yeah, and it's that's got to feel good for that 6 truck, Jeffrey there, because he had a rough race last week. Ended up with a lot of damage and ended up finishing 23rd position. So riding up there in that top 5 has got to feel good for that truck to kind of redeem himself, because that was his first race that we'd broadcast that he was in there. I think he's relatively new to the league, so he's coming up and saying, hey, you know what? I know how to wheel this truck too.
You got that right. And I tell you what, the night ain't over yet as we keep motoring on here. 63 laps in the books here at New Smyrna Speedway. Short track racing for sure. Less than a half a mile track, about 0.4 mile. A little bit of banking in the turn. That's what's helping some of these guys. You know, that's why it's such a battle coming off the turns here. A little bit flatter on the bottom. About 20 degrees up near the top of the wall up here. So that gives these guys on the upper side just a little bit more horsepower coming off these turns here at New Smyrna. But Cody Kunzner opening up a 1 second lead over Andrew Faish. We have not seen that here tonight, but I believe Cody Kunzner came down pit road, might have gotten 4 fresh tires.
Yeah, that's the first person that we've actually seen been able to challenge that 77 truck, who's just dominated so far tonight. But I mean, we're 65 laps in, and people on some differing strategies. As Brad Patton in the 18 truck gets sideways and loses that 2nd position, and is in danger of losing the 3rd position as the 6 gets inside of him.
6 working on the inside of the 18. The 18 up on the top side up here, and of course that banking we were talking about earlier is not going to be any help to Brad Patton at all in 18, as Jeffrey Gingerella in the number 6 squeaks by for 4th position here at New Smyrna. Short track Saturday night, and I'll tell you what, this is a ton of fun. I'm having a blast. Here comes the 88. Michael Duell fighting on the bottom here. He's got Matt Busa up on the outside. He's going to make easy work of him coming off of turn 4. Down the front stretch, side-by-side contact with the 34. 34 takes a souvenir off the wall going into turn 1. Off the turn they come, turn 2. And I'll tell you what, Michael Duell fighting for everything he's got on the bottom. Busa up on the top. He is not going to give it up that easy.
No, and I've seen the 34 bounce it off the wall twice in that last lap there, trying to stay on the outside of the 88 truck, because, man, that 88 is not giving him a lot of room there. And we, like I mentioned earlier, the 88 has 4 fresh tires on there, so he's got a little bit of better grip, and he's trying to make that pass, but it looks like he's got stuck behind that 18 truck, and that's going to kill his momentum.
About a lap and a half ago, the 18 come off the turn wicked sideways, getting real loose up here at the top. Patton having to collect it back here a little bit and check those shorts, Cowboy. But I'll tell you what, the 19 machine, Bobby Keith, also coming along. He's also sitting up here in the top 10 in 8th position. The 88, Michael Duell, still struggling here a little bit. Busa motoring on past the 18. That's going to put Matt Busa up here in 5th position.
Yeah, the 88 looks like he's settled back into that position there. I might have used up a little bit of stuff trying to get around Matt Busa and failing, and those tires probably heated up a little bit, lose a little bit of grip, but he does have fresher tires, so a lot of these guys are going to have to pit before he will, because he's got a full tank of fuel from that last caution. So he might just wait and see if this green flag run works his way out, as he almost gets into the back of the 18 truck. The 18 struggling a little bit tonight, and just kind of keeps getting in front of that 88, and the 18 saying, "Come on, man, let me by," and he gets the job done.
Move it all the way back here to 16th position. And let's throw a shout out to Bruce Koenig, hanging in there tough as he gets wicked loose off of turn 4 down the front stretch here. Bruce Koenig getting loose, but I'll tell you, hanging in there, trying to get the job done. For him, he's 2 laps down, but this is just about piling up the points as much as he can get, so he can finish the thing here tonight. Alan Roll still on the track as well. 6 laps down back here in 18th position. Unfortunately, Brian Harvey in the 66, he has pulled it behind the wall on the hauler. And like we say on here on ETV Live, headed for the barn, Cowboy. Cody Kunstner still out in front of Andrew Fish. Remember, Cody Kunstner, I believe he came down pit road, 4 new shoes for that pony. And Andrew Fish has yet to pit and take tires here at New Smyrna. 75 laps in the books. Christopher Shell is still working the top 5 up here, and things have kind of settled out here for the O2 machine. As the 6 contact with the 6 is in the wall. Jeffrey Gendrella around. This may bring out a caution here at New Smyrna for the 4th time.
Wow, it looks like you mentioned, he got a little bit loose there, and trying to look back here and see what happened. It looks like he got into the side of the 88.
Yes, he did. He got into the side of the 88 machine, and also I think he had a little bit of contact with the 19 truck as well. No, it was the 88. I saw 2 blue trucks up there, but it's the 88, and a little bit of contact there.
Yeah, it looks like that contact would have been so bad, but he made nose in contact with that wall. He got the truck going again, but I'm guessing he's going to come down pit road and get that looked at, because he's got some pretty significant damage in the front end of that truck, and yet passes by the entrance to pit road. So I'm a bit surprised by that, as a lot of our leaders have come down pit road.
And this is the first time that the 77 Andrew Fish makes it down on pit road. It'll be 4 new shoes and a bucket of oats for his truck. And looks like Cody Kunstner beat everybody off of pit road. I need to roll it backwards here. I didn't have a good shot of his pit stall. Don't know if he took 2 or 4. And actually, it looks like 4 tires, 4 new shoes for the 91. And the 91 gets out ahead of Andrew Fish.
Yeah, they must have had some speedy guys in the pit crew there, because they, like you said, took 4 new shoes on there and beat everybody out from about mid down pit road. So some great job by his crew there.
And okay, we're hearing Pat.
Mr. Brad Patton in the 18 truck, I believe, is the crew the crew's referring. Had a 13, I didn't actually catch that. There's a 13-something pit stop, a nice pit stop. 13.1 I'm hearing from the truck. See, we're not, well, me and JD were only as smart as the voices in our ears here, and fortunately we got Laura Lawson down in the truck helping us out, taking a look at all the action here. I mean, as anybody watched last week's race there in Kansas, there was a lot of action. You know, we couldn't keep track, me and Chad up in the booth with both JD and Laura down there and looking at it too, so it's hard to keep up with everything up here.
Yeah, it is. You know, the Cowboy, I usually wind up engineering these races, you know, helping the crew out up here, looking for cautions and calling out the numbers of the camera operating and everybody downstairs, and, you know, working the sound and everything. But tonight we're up here in the booth. Of course, I'm sharing this space with Trevor Cameron, celebrity broadcaster from the iRacing Today radio show, with Chad Dalton. Chad, who is AWOL or on vacation. Where is he tonight anyway?
Doing something other than this. I mean, you know, he shows up all the time, but no, actually, no. Chad let us know he was going. He had some stuff that he had to go take care of, some sort of family thing he was going to go see. I don't know, but he's not up here in the booth. But I got JD as they're about to go green, as the 88, who is our new leader, has jumped out to a good start out in front of that 19 truck, but the 19 caught right back up to him in the middle of that corner.
Michael Jewell, I tell you what, that's his first green flag of the night here at New Smyrna. That's your points leader up there in that 88 machine as well. Our pole sitter, Andrew Fish, all the way back here in 8th position, and he's got a herd of trucks out in front of him. He's trying to motor on by. The 27 on the bottom down here, Jeffrey Ginderella up here in the 6th machine. Remember, he was having his difficulties last time around here. He's sitting here in 10th position as he desperately tries to hang on to it. The 02 machine of Christopher Shella, he's been up in the front quite a bit here tonight. But let's go back here about 12th position, the 06, William Karp. He's trying to finish this night here in good shape. He's just one spot off of the 10th, top 10 here. Jacob Fife, that's the 36 machine out in front of him with damage to the left rear of that truck. Chris Freeman back here in the 17. He's in 13th position. Jim Fife in the 63, kind of bringing up the back end back here. James Hickson, he's the last truck on the lead lap, 6 seconds behind your leader up here. And of course, the rest of them here. Koenig is 1 lap down. Oh, and a big wreck happening up here in the front. And the 27 like involved.
Yeah, I was going to say the track's basically blocked there for a minute.
Yeah, I'm trying to, if I can't get it up here. The 77 is involved. That's Andrew Fish, your pole sitter. The 18 of, I believe that's Brad Patton involved. And we're hearing the 26 and the 19 make contact. Looks like they might have been 3 wide. I'm still trying to roll it back here far enough, and they were. The 02 up on the outside, the 26 in the middle, and that looks like the 18 on the bottom here, and 18 just slides up into the 26, makes contact, and that gets the ball rolling, Trevor.
Yeah, it doesn't look like a lot of these guys got a lot of damage. I mean, they're probably the worst of the bunch is our pole sitter, the 77 truck. And just before that caution came out, actually, the 91, who we had mentioned had that awesome pit stop and got 4 fresh tires. He had started in 5th. He had actually just taken the lead from Michael Duell, just as he just cut through that crew and ended up beating out. I mean, he was passing people like it was nobody's business.
Yeah, he was. And that'll bring Brad Patton and the 77 of Andrew Fish down off the road for repairs as they pull the sheet metal away from the tires, put a couple of fresh new rubbers on, and get them back out on the track. So working our 5th caution of the night here at New Smyrna. Let's take a real quick break. You're watching live on ETVLive. Don't wander off. We'll be right back. Join 5,000 plus other listeners where you can hear everything from big 80s metal to classic rock and roll, country radio, ETVLive, sports radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks, HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com. Picking up his first green flag of the night here in New Smyrna is Cody Kunzer out in front looking for a little redemption after Kansas. Michael Duell in 2nd, Bobby Keith in 3rd is Bobby Keith on the bottom here with the 88. And I'll tell you what, remember Michael Duell, your points leader, he's working hard to try to reclaim a lead up here. Cody Kunzer jumps out to the front though, already 0.2 of a second. Out in front of Bobby Keith in the 19. But here comes the 02 along for the ride in 34. Matt Busa back to the front in 5th. I'll tell you what, the fight is on here, Cowboy. The 36 of Jacob Fife back here, 6th position, as looks like Matt Busa and Bobby Keith both get by him up here. Busa and Christopher Shella gonna duke it out here again before the night's over, and I swear it. But I'll tell you what, backwards from those guys, it's single file all the way back through the field here. Not a whole lot of action until you get about 12th position. The 06 machine, William Karp, and he was kind of sort of doing it with the 18 of Brad Patton up here. Brad Patton looking to get back out in front.
Yeah, and meanwhile, the 02 has made it around the 88 truck. The 88 looks like he's struggling. I mean, he has some fresher tires compared to some of these guys out here, but he just doesn't seem to be able to make that truck stick, and he's getting, like I said, the 91 truck was no contest for him. The 02 got around, and looks like Matt Boos is about to look on the inside and gets into the back of him and turns him, and he saves it. That is some amazing driving by that 88 truck.
Well, I'll tell you what, Michael Dew is showing his stuff here at a short track for sure here tonight. And I'll tell you what, the 77 Andrew Fish, he comes alongside as the 88 gains that confidence back. Look out for your shorts there, Cowboy. Michael Dewell trying to get that confidence back and put it together so he can, again, battle up in the front here. I wanted to take it all the way back to Chris Freeman here. He's driving at number 17. Don't think we've mentioned him here tonight. Here, check this, Cowboy. This guy started in 18th position all the way in the back of the field back here tonight. So Chris Freeman all the way up into 9th position, looking at a top 10, hopefully before the night is over.
Yeah, Chris started the night 13th in position in the points position here. Probably an outside chance to make the chase. I don't think he will, but he is also sitting in 4th position in the Rookie of the Year position, so he's certainly got a shot at that.
Bobby Keith in the 19 truck, he just gets by Daniel Holloway. I believe that's going to be for 7th position, if I'm not mistaken here, as they come by the stripes. Yes, it is for 7th position. So Bobby Keith looking to move forward here a little bit. 34 and the 88 now side by side. Coming down the back stretch, that's Busa and Patton up here. Duel, rather. I haven't been here long enough to know these guys.
I was going to say, JD, I mean, I know you're struggling with this. You're not up here and in the booth, and I appreciate you stepping into Chad's shoes here. I mean, of course, me and Chad, we got all these guys' names down, except for all the ones that we mess up week in and week out. But appreciate the efforts for sure. As the 34 truck of Matt Busa looks like he's going to make that pass stick on the 88 of Michael Dewell. Looks like he's gathered it back up because that 88 was struggling at the beginning of this restart here, but looks like he's got that truck back out, and we have caution on the track.
As the caution flies again, I'm looking for our victim here, and I think I found him. I see somebody sitting on the... yeah,
it looks like the 06 of William Karp was on the sidelines there. I'm not sure how he got there, but looked like he decided to park it.
Yeah, it's the back end comes around all by himself here. I believe that's coming off of turn 4 here. And he just loses it right in the middle of the turn. A little bit too much horsepower to the back wheels. Probably did not pit last time. No weight on the back, fuel-wise or whatever. But the back end comes out and around she goes. And looks like the 06. Like you're right. I think looks like he's gonna call it a night here at New Smyrna.
Yeah, it looks like he got trapped behind the pace car. He couldn't get her going in time. I know he tried there, but he was also trying to do it safely and make sure he didn't come out in front of somebody. But he is behind the pace car, so he's going to lose a lap for that little adventure. But that will put him in the lucky dog position for the next restart, unless, of course, he stays out and takes the wave rounds. I'm guessing at pit strategies. I don't know what they're going to do. I mean, if I was him, I'd probably stay out. But you spin around, and you're probably going to want some fresh tires on that guy.
Yeah, you'd think I'd be making a trip down pit road myself to put 4 new shoes and at least a bucket of oats in the tank. Here, I'm kind of a Mark Martin, or I used to be kind of a Mark Martin style racer. I mean, every trip I got to come down pit road, it's going to be 4 new shoes and a bucket of oats, and that's just how it is. But with these the new technology, the Gen 6 cars, and of course I haven't spent a whole lot of time in these trucks. But, I don't know if they're... I would think that they're quite a bit looser than driving a car, only because of the weight of these trucks. I don't think they're very heavy on the back end.
Yeah, and actually I'm surprised because, a lot of these fixed setup races these guys have run, the trucks have been quite loose, and we saw a lot of guys on the some of the previous broadcasts where the guys were losing the back ends on these guys, but we're not seeing a lot of that tonight. I mean, that was obviously an exception, and he has come down and got 4 fresh boots on there, because I'm guessing those ones probably weren't too good anymore, and maybe a fresh pair of shorts as he spun in front of a few trucks, but fortunately they missed him, so that's going to put him a lap down in that lucky dog position. And also want to mention there, as I gain my breath here, the 94 of Alan Roll, who had some earlier problems there. He has, thankfully for the admins, he had some electronic problems and lost a bunch of laps, but the admins have got him back down to where he's only 1 lap down now.
There you go. Lights are off on the pace car. Here's your front row up here. This is what it looks like. Cody Kunzer on the inside. Christopher Schella back up front. The 02 on the outside. Jacob Fife, Andrew Fish in the second row. Michael Duell and Matt Busa in the third row. So it ain't over yet, Cowboy. 106 laps in the books here. New Smyrna, the green flag comes out, and we're back to green flag racing. 2x2 all the way down the front stretch, and Cody Kunzner looking to open up the lead as he dives off into turn 1, off of turn 2, down the back stretch we go.
Oh, we have contact with the 36 truck is on its roof.
The 36 is on its roof. The 02 involved. I need to roll it back here and find out what happened. I don't know, the 36 might have had some help coming off the turn. No, he does not. He just comes motoring off the turn, got his foot buried in the gas, drifts up in front of the 02, and unfortunately tags the wall, and over he goes here at New Smyrna.
Wow, I mean, the 36 truck's going to have some heavy damage from that, because he, you don't ride on your roof and not damage your truck, and we had, he got into 34 a little bit. He's got some damage. The 02, obviously, as he jettisoned the 36 truck up into the air, he's got some damage on that front end as well. So there were some strong trucks that all of a sudden have got some serious damage here.
Yeah, you bet. I'm trying to go back here. I'm looking at it from the 77's perspective. Trying to figure out what the 77 saw. I'll tell you what, the 77 makes a move to the inside and just narrowly avoids that whole mess up here. That might be worth a good shot out of the windshield of the 77, Laura, if we can get to it on the replay. But the 36, just too much horsepower coming off. And, when you lose it, you lose it. And unfortunately, the 02 happens to be sitting right there. And then I think we call that, what was that, Laura? A double axle with a single twist, or double axle with a backflip.
Wow, it looks like looking there and down pit road, looks like the 36 truck has he has pulled it into the garage area. So our the guy who was second in points coming into tonight's race has pulled it back into the garage and is retired from this race after racing along on his roof for a bit. I'm guessing he probably took a trip to the infield care center.
You bet. And maybe we can try to get Jacob Fife up here on the radio. I think we've got Jacob Fife on the radio. Jacob, this is JD and Trevor up in the booth. You got us, bud?
Yeah, I got you.
Hey, working this last caution here, what was it from your perspective?
That's a good question. I was actually getting ready to look at y'all's broadcast to find out for myself, but either I just came. I thought I had cleared. I guess it was shell on my outside coming off a 2, and I didn't because my focus was back behind me on Fayash because I knew he was coming, and either he bounced, or Shella bounced off the wall into me, or I just came up into him. Either way, it wasn't pretty. But yeah, I'm not sure after the replay.
First part of the race, we're watching Shella and Busa duke it out. Riding the top and the bottom. Tell you what, let's get back to that. Lights are off on the pace car. We're going to go back to green flag racing here. Stick around on the radio here. We'll get right back to you. But Trevor, we're just about a half a lap from going back green here. Cody Kunster is going to pick up the green flag again with Andrew Fash now up here on the front row. Matt Busa, Brad Patton, Chris Freeman back here as well. Remember Chris Freeman, we talked about him earlier. He qualified all the way in the back, Cowboy. I'll tell you what, Chris Freeman having a good night here in the top 5 as the green flag comes out. 2x2 down the front stretch we go. Kusner off into turn number 1. Andrew Fash looking to get it back. Andrew Fash, remember he led the first part of the race here, now duking it out with the 91 up here on the top side, or 77 down here on the bottom. Busa watching all that happen out in front of him. Busa wants a piece of the action as well. Down the backstretch we go. The 77, Andrew Fish, cannot get the job done, Trevor, but he's looking on the inside, going to make another attack.
Yeah, it looks like he slipped up a little bit there as he made that last pass attempt there, and just can't quite get it done. But the 91 truck is not running away from this situation either, as we've seen in the past. We have caution on the track. Somebody sideways off the track.
Here, and it's the 69 Bruce Koenig as we roll it backwards here and see what took place.
Oh, looks like he got loose there, and he came back up on the track and collected Alan Roll, who had just managed to get one lap down after those earlier electrical problems, and he's collected some damage from that. So, man, he had worked so hard to get back up there, and now he's got a damaged truck for his efforts.
Yeah, you know what, and they both take a hard hit into the outside wall up here. I'm watching this again. I want to get another perspective of it, and actually riding along with the 94, and it's just too little too late. The 94 really just can't go anywhere. I mean, there's nothing for him to do. You get on the binders, it's going to send you into the wall. If you make any kind of quick turn on the wheel, it's going to spin you around, send you into the wall. So the 94, Alan Rule, just along for the ride.
Yeah, definitely, and looks like Bruce Koenig has taken that 69 truck behind the wall and has retired from this race. Not sure if he mentioned that William Karp has also retired from the race. He's, of course, in the 06 truck. We were talking about him earlier. He had some issues. So we're getting some attritions here. Some attritions? I don't know if that's a plural thing, but we're getting some attrition here as we kind of expected with a short track race, and as a lot of these guys get beaten and banged up here.
You know, but I expected it to happen a whole lot sooner than this. I mean, this is typical short track Saturday night. I'll tell you what, 118 laps in the books here at New Smyrna Speedway. We still got Jacob Fife on the radio with us. Jacob, back to you, Cowboy. I'll tell you what, we watched the 02 and Busa and 34 duke it out, pretty much the first 50 or so laps of the race. The outside seems to be the stronger of the two, but they stay neck and neck off the turns. A little bit of horsepower coming off. Is it the banking in the turns that's helping these guys on the top side, or what's your take on the difficulty getting by when they get side by side through the turns?
It depends. I mean, if you set yourself up in the middle of the corner to get a straight run off, you can hold the high line pretty well, and it's difficult to pass on the bottom because you're getting pinched off. But a lot of the guys out here tonight, especially at this point in the race, are on varying pit strategies given our tire limit we have here at Integrity. So that's a part of it too, but it just really depends on how you set yourself up from mid-corner off.
All right, you heard it from Jacob Fife, who has put his machine behind the wall. Jacob, who makes it happen for you, bud, while you're here?
Well, it's all the guys you see on the track right here. I like to thank Butt Kicker, who's on board as a sponsor, as well as Pro Powder and Paint, who's supported us all year. But ultimately, it boils down to the admins who help me out in the series here, and the guys who come out every week. They're the guys who really make it happen and make this league successful.
You bet, the guys that come out every week, and I'll tell you what, that's Cody Kunzer, Andrew Page, Matt Busa, Brad Patton, Chris Freeman, Bobby Keith, Christopher Schella, Daniel Holloway, Michael Ginderella, Jim Fife, James Hicks, and Alan Rule, Jeffrey Ginderella, Bruce Koenig, Michael Duell, Jacob Fife, William Karp, and Brian Harvey. I think I got them all there, Trevor.
Yeah, as we go back to green, as Cody Kusner gets an awesome jump as we go green here, as he slides way away from the 77 truck with the 34 on the inside and is going to take that third position away.
You bet, 121 laps in the books here. Remember, 200 laps on board here tonight, so we are definitely on the downhill side. And these guys are going to start letting it all hang out here. The 18, oh, wicked loose. Brad Patton getting wicked loose off of turn 4. Down the backstretch he goes. He's trying to run down Matt Busa up here in the front. And I'll tell you what, he's got a whole host of them up here in front. Probably the fastest guys on the track. The 34 up here in third position. In front of him is Andrew Fash in the 77. And, of course, Cody Kusner, who has pretty much busted loose with a half a second lead over the field here tonight at 123 laps in the books.
Yeah, definitely. As the 19 is getting on the inside of the 18 there, I want to give a shout out to the 63 truck, Jim Papa Fife there. Remember, he had problems earlier, was a lap down. He is currently sitting in 10th position on the lead lap. So good run by him as he's trying to make his way into the chase. Like I mentioned earlier, he didn't have that much of a cushion, so he's got to get out there and get those points, and he's getting her done after some earlier problems.
And catching up with the no pass up from Laura downstairs. The 88 gets into the 44 here on lap 111. No cautions flew at that point, but that certainly set Michael Duell back by a long ways. Duell now 10 laps down here at New Smyrna. And, of course, that comes from just a ton of damage on the 88 machine. Oh, he almost loses it again. Trying to play catch-up here, but I'll tell you what, the night is pretty much over for him. 10 laps down with the 88 truck. Michael Duell just looking to finish this thing here tonight and keep that truck of his on all fours pointed in the right direction. In the meantime, back out in front, it's Cody Kunzer. Andrew Fayes trying to hunt him down, a half a second behind him. Matt Busa along for the ride. Bobby Keith showing his stuff up here in 4th position.
Yeah, Michael Duell. I mean, having that, he's somebody who's thankful that this is a race to the chase and not just one single race, because he has those 4 victories earlier on in the season in that points lead. So, this was kind of a throwaway race for him, and a good thing too that he didn't need it, because he's not getting the run that he needed tonight for sure if everything was on the line. But fortunately for Michael, he got her done early in the season, didn't need tonight.
And right now, 10 trucks on the lead lap. The last one, the 63 of Jim Fife, sitting there in 10th position. Behind him is James Hickson. He's 1 lap down in the 44. Remember, he just tangled back on that restart with the 88. But right now, it's about Cody Kunzer. He holds down the Ford up here in the front as Andrew Fayes closing the distance now, 3/10 off the leader up here. Matt Busa, he's seeing all that happen as he takes a souvenir off of turn 2. Bobby Keith back here in the 19. I'll tell you what, that Cowboy's looking for a good night here tonight. Brad Patton, I'll tell you, you know what, Brad Patton fighting for everything he's got. He was mixing it up here with Busa and Shella up here earlier in the 02. Brad Patton with a solid top 5 run right now. Of course, Christopher Shella, I don't think this Cowboy's done yet, Trevor. He's being chased by Daniel Holloway back here, about 8 or 10 trucks back behind him. But hey, the night ain't over yet as we put 128 laps in the books.
Yeah, that 02 truck, we knew that he was strong tonight earlier on. So like you said, man, back in the 6th position there, he's got some pretty serious damage. Remember, he's the guy who launched Jacob Fife up into the air as they go around the 44 truck, who is slow and off pace. He's had a rough night, James Hickson, in that 44 truck. He's 2 laps down currently. Just not getting her done tonight. But that 02, I wouldn't be surprised if we had another restart, if we see him back up towards the front. Looks like he's just about on pace, considering the damage and abuse that truck's taken tonight.
Yeah, I don't think he's done yet. We haven't seen the end of this thing yet. 130 laps in the books. We're definitely on the downhill side. 70 to go here at New Smyrna. And this is Short Track Saturday night with Integrity Racing League. And again, the Rookie of the Year award being sponsored by Buck Kicker. And that's a pretty cool deal all on itself. That's a... let me see if I can get this one right now. Sponsoring the Integrity Racing League Rookie of the Year Award, the Buck Kicker Gamer 2 lets you feel all the action from your games and simulators. Feel the gut-wrenching punch of machine gun fire, the pounding of chopper blades, explosions, rumble strips, and more. Turn down or turn off your subwoofer and still feel the bass. The movies, the video games, the music, it all comes to life, even when using the headphones. Give your game some realism. It's a silent subwoofer that lets you feel the explosions, crashes, and the special effects. Butt Kicker Gamer 2 at thebuttkicker.com.
Yeah, and while you're talking about getting our butts kicked here, the 91 truck has got company. The 77 truck is there to his bumper and is trying to make a challenge for that lead, as Matt Busa is also trying to close in that gap. Looks like these first 3 trucks have kind of gotten away from the guys behind them, as the 34, Matt Busa, manages to gain on the 77 truck despite the fact of being sideways all the way down that front stretch.
I'll tell you what, Cody Kunster in the 91 making that truck really, really wide here, because the last 2 laps here are going to click off lickety-split. Busa almost giving him the chrome horn here with Cody Kunster out in front. Andrew Fayes Jr. in that 77 looking for a way around. Takes a peek up on the top side. Remember talking to Jacob Fife, if you can get the run off of the turn, set yourself up, he can make that top side work up here as he tries to inch closer to Cody Kunster up here in front. Matt Busa, although, I tell you what, don't count. Oh, this Busa in the 34 takes a chunk off the wall down the back stretch. That's a big-time souvenir sitting on the front seat of that 34 machine. But I'll tell you, he's been watching Andrew and Kunstner up here in front duke it out. In the meantime, Bobby Keith, he sits back here in 19th. A lot of damage to the right rear of that truck. and Christopher Schella still working in the 6th position back here, trying to make something happen to get up there and duke it out. Trevor, I don't know that the O2 is going to have enough to get there.
Yeah, no, we mentioned earlier the O2 was really, really strong earlier on, and he was battling it out for the lead and up in first, second, third kind of position, but he does have some significant damage on that truck, and looks like they have not gotten it all repaired, and he is struggling tonight as the 26 truck, Daniel Holloway, has been steadily closing in on the back of him, and I think before too many more laps go, the 26 truck is going to be there and trying to get around him, as the O2 looks like he's sideways coming off of turn 4, and that's going to get the 26 truck even closer.
26 is turning about the 10th quicker lap than Christopher Schella up there in the O2, so it's just a matter of time, Cowboy. Christopher Schella may fall victim to the 26 as the 26 gets loose coming off the turn. But in the meantime, back out in front, Andrew Fay is trying to regroup, regather, roll that pony up, and collect his stuff as he tries to go back after the 91, Cody Kunstner, in the second half of the race there. Remember, the first half belonged to Andrew Fay in that 77. Now it belongs to Cody Kunstner, and for him, this is absolutely redemption after a failed race at Kansas last week. Kunstner, remember, he led 28.
We have the, sorry to interrupt there. We have the 19 truck sideways off the corner and into the grass, and the caution is out. Yeah, there was the 19 of Bobby Keith there. Sorry there, JD. I'm talking all over you here, but he got sideways coming off the corner. Looks like he got to the back of the 18 of Brad Patton and tried to check up. Didn't make contact, but lost it anyway and came in and just kind of nosed it into the grass. No contact, so he shouldn't have any damage other than some tires that are a little bit worse for wear.
I think that may come from Let me get it right here. That may be coming from jumping on the brakes too soon. It could be a brake bias thing. Got a little bit more grab on the front end. That's going to bring the back of that truck up, and of course the back end comes around on him, and that's the one that brings it out.
And of course the 19 does come down pit road, as is our leader, the 91 of Cody Kutzner. He's come down and getting 4 tires on that truck and full tank of fuel, which I believe will be enough to get him through to the end of the race. Only 53 laps to go in the short track. That should definitely be enough.
53 laps to go here at New Smyrna Raceway. And I'll tell you what, this is short track Saturday night. But right now, let's take a break and go to commercial. And when we come back, we'll try to finish this thing here tonight. 147 laps on the books, 200 to go here, 200 laps on the board. We'll be right back. Welcome back to the finish. 50 laps to go here. New Smyrna Integrity Racing short track Saturday night. Christopher Schella finally up in front. Going to get his first green flag of the night with Michael Gingerella in chase. Jim Fife as well. And I'll tell you what, Cody Kunstler drops back to third in the 91. Jim Fife hanging out with the top 5. Andrew Fayes Jr. on the 77 in 5th. Andrew restarting a little bit further back in the field than he's used to here tonight. But I tell you what, Gingerella and Christopher Shella duking it out up here in front. The 91, the 02 side by side in a turn. The 91 goes in hard into the turn, and he will prevail. The 02 up on the top side, that's Christopher Shella. He's going to have to give it up to the 91. Cody Kusner back out in front.
Yeah, I mean, we've mentioned the 0-2 was struggling earlier on tonight there, and I didn't think it was going to take long for the 91 to just make short work of him, as he's already fallen back to 4th position. He's trying to play some strategy, get some track position here, but he just does not have the truck to compete with these guys up front, although the 91 did get a pretty bad restart there, so it actually took him an extra half lap to get back out to the lead than I think it would have otherwise.
And the 02 of Christopher Shella already falling off here as he gets has the 26 alongside here down the backstretch going into turn 3, and he'll wind up giving that one up, even though he's got the stronger side, the top side here on the track. But the 02 going backwards here after a solid top 3 restart up here, because Kunzer out in front, Andrew Fash, Matt Busa in third, Daniel Holloway in the 26 machine. He's trying to chase down those 3 guys up there, but he sits about 2 seconds off the leaders up here. There goes Andrew Fayesh dropping to a almost a half a second deficit behind Cody Kunstler up here in the 91.
Yeah, again, got to give a shout out to that 26 truck, Daniel Holloway there. He is having an awesome night there up in 4th position. He's, I have my biases, and he's kind of a friend of the show. Done a lot of laps with him. He raced with him a bunch. So good shout out to Daniel for an awesome race here tonight. Came into the night 6th in points. Going to be strongly into that chase. So a great night for Daniel, and some momentum heading into the chase.
You bet. And I'll tell you what, with 10 trucks still on the lead lap, last one in line's at 63 was a good night here tonight. Top 10 finish for him. Jim 5 holding his own. James Hickson in the 44. He's 1 lap down, so he's got to go all the way around to have any contention with the 63 at all, or if the caution comes out, be lucky enough to get the dog and get that lap back. But right now it's about Cody Kunzer out in front. No real threat coming from Andrew Fish, who's moved up into 2nd position. Matt Busa still chasing these guys down, as we got a slow car down on the bottom, or slow truck down on the bottom. But I tell you, Matt Busa does not look like he's in any kind of a hurry right now with 40 laps to go here at New Smyrna. I think he's just kind of waiting to see what happens out in front. The 94, Alan Roll, that was the truck on the bottom. Alan is dropped to 9 laps down here at New Smyrna. So for him, it's all about finishing the night and collecting the points. Almost somebody got wicked loose up here in the front. I'm going to try to roll this back and get a second look. That's going to be the 26 of Daniel Hall. Daniel Holloway getting totally loose off the turn, takes a huge souvenir off the wall, almost brings out a caution, but the 19 squeaks by. Trying to avoid a lap truck apparently, but the 26 who might have been in the hunt here, that's Daniel Holloway. He's drifting all the way back 4.1 seconds behind the lead. So I'll tell you what, he's got to put the hustle on if he wants to try to get up there and duke it out with Patton and Keith. But right now, it's about Cody Kunstler, Andrew Fish, and Matt Busa up here in front, and they are just bumpers off of one another here at New Smyrna.
Well, that'll learn me for giving Daniel some. He must have heard me through his broadcast. Maybe he's got the old ETV broadcast off in his ear, listening to it. He said, "Hey, they're talking about me on TV," and lost a little bit of concentration. I mean, last week he had an interesting situation where during caution he ended up through the grass there. I blamed it on driving and texting. I think he got a kick out of that. So apparently every time I talk about Daniel, he has a bad time. So I'm going to just stop talking about that 26 truck and let him race his race out there.
Yeah, you know what? It's hard enough to drive at 40 miles an hour and text. I can't imagine driving at 140 miles an hour and texting at the same time, you think?
Most definitely. One thing to mention here is that Cody Kutzner in that 91 truck having this dominating race here. Well, I mean, not dominating. He's not getting away from anybody. He's leading a lot of laps out there. He came into the night 3rd in the Rookie of the Year standings here. So a win and leading a bunch of laps is certainly going to help him throughout the night, as James Hudson is not out there, who's 2nd in points, and Brad Patton is sitting in 5th position. So he can make some ground up in that Rookie of the Year position and try to get him a nice prize from Butt Kicker.
You bet. And Matt Busa comes in to tonight with, I think he's got 6 wins under his belt. So Matt Busa certainly a driver to contend with pretty much any given track. Busa, I just got a funny feeling that the 34 is just kind of waiting to see what Fayesh is going to try to do with Cody up here, because it kind of depends on those two to determine what Matt has to do in order to possibly go for a win up here. But, when you get a couple of them start duking it out with one another, that just gets the guy behind them an opportunity to squeak by as they kind of kill time each other out. But Busa takes a little bit of a chunk off the wall here, no harm, no foul, still staying right with these guys up here in front. But I'll tell you, the 34 truck's certainly getting a little bit loose off the turns here tonight already. No threat from Bobby Keith back here in fourth in the 19 truck. Bobby sits 3.9, let's call it 4 seconds behind the leaders here. No real competition for him either. The only other competition we have, Chris Freeman and Christopher Schella in the 02 and the 17 back here, 7th and 8th position. This is for position here, but the 02 struggling in the last half of the race there, Trevor.
Yeah, and the 77 got up to the bumper of that 91 truck. Almost might have kissed it there, but lost some momentum as he had to keep himself off of there and drop back a little bit. But he was up at that bumper of that 91 truck, as they've got the lap track, or about to be lap track. Jim Papa Fife in that 63 truck right ahead of him. Jim's a smart racer. I'm sure he'll give these leaders some room as they get on by here. But, man, these guys are not letting each other go. It is a 3-dog race as we go here. Well, I guess that'd be a 3-horse race there, Cowboy, wouldn't it?
3-horse race, there you go. I'll tell you what, spur them ponies on as we put 173 laps in the books here. Andrew Fayesh, Kiss My Bumper. Is that a new bumper sticker, maybe? I'll tell you what, Cody Kunstler in a 91, he's got to be spending a lot of time looking in that rear view mirror. And, it's contending with a 63. That's going to be Jacob Fife going, or not Jacob, Jim Fife going down another lap to the leaders here. So Jim Fife still hanging on to 10th position here. But Cody Kunstler certainly not spending a lot of time looking back in that mirror. I'm sure he's concentrating on making his mark. But Matt Busa, who seems to be struggling here off of just about every turn, Trevor, taking a bunch of souvenirs. That front seat's got to be getting heavy with pieces of the wall sitting on the floorboard.
Yeah, definitely. And one thing that we've noticed throughout the entire season here is Matt Busa. He kind of reminds me of the most interesting man in the world from those beer commercials. He doesn't always finish races, but when he does, he likes to win. He's had an up and down season. He's capable of going out there and being a threat to win every night, but he has had some hard luck throughout the season. And he's got those couple of wins under his belt, but he's also had a bunch of DNFs with some really bad luck. So he's either up front or he's in the garage, seems to be the way that Matt Busa races this truck.
I'll tell you what, getting a little bit lead-footed coming off the turns, almost got a loose here a couple of laps ago. He's gathered it back, got a good hold on those reins as he spurs that number 34 pony along here. He's chasing down Andrew. Gets another piece of the wall, and he's chasing down Andrew Fayesh up here. And I thought Busa might have had more for Andrew Fayesh as the laps start winding down here, 178 in the books. But I'll tell you, Andrew Fayesh, he's probably got a windshield full of that 91 up here as he's trying to figure out what can I do to get around Cody Kunstler.
Well, it doesn't look like he's going to be able to get a chance there as the 34 gets on the inside of the 77, and the 77 isn't going to have any shot at Cody if he's too worried about getting passed by the 34, as has just happened going into the corner there.
And the 77, Andrew Fayesh looks like he just gave it up to the 34. The 34 fighting his truck here a few laps ago, seems to have it together and is now spurring that pony of his on. And I'll tell you what, Andrew Fayesh, on the other hand, he seems to have kind of dropped off here a little bit. He's going to let Matt Busa try to run down Cody Kunstler out in front, but I'll tell you what, he's taking another souvenir off the wall. That's the 34, Matt Busa, as he tries to chase down the 91. Andrew Fayesh back here in the 77 looking on, thinking, oh my God, what happened here, Cowboy? Brad Patton pretty much out of the running back here in fourth position. No shot for him on the podium here tonight. But right now it's all about Cody Kunstler, Matt Busa, and Andrew Fayesh as the laps start winding down.
Yeah, it looks like Alan Rold, who had some earlier problems here, is taking his truck behind the wall. So he'll finish right around 14th position, I believe, or 13th, 14th position, and he came into the night 7th in points. I think he's got enough of a cushion that that probably will keep him in the chase. I'm sure he probably calculated that out before he decided to retire that truck rather than making laps. So rough night for that 94. Oh, we have caution on the track. You got an eyes on that, JD?
I'm looking for it as we speak. Looks like it's going to be the 19 of Bobby Keith around. He might have had some help. I'm looking here. Actually, it looks like the 19 goes around all by himself. The back end of the truck just comes off the ground on the backstretch, and around he goes off of turn 2 here.
We've had a lot of people getting loose coming off these corners. At the beginning of the race, it didn't look like we were having that, but as the race has gone on, as these guys have been on different strategies and different tires and stuff, it looks like some of these guys are struggling with getting the hammer down off the corner and just losing the rear end of these trucks.
And it looks like our leaders come down pit road. Andrew Fayesh, Matt Busa, and Cody Kunstler on pit road as we stay with the race here. Watching these guys down on pit road. Let's see what happens down here. The 18 the 34 truck of Matt Busa. I can't really tell.
I was gonna say, it looks like we're having some tandem pitting there.
Yeah. I can't tell how many tires Busa took, but it looks like the 34 might be. Looks like he might have won the race off pit road.
Yeah, I think I was going to say, I think the 34 truck took 5 tires and the 18 took 3. I'm not sure what happened in that situation. I mean, the crews were probably very confused by that situation at all. So,
yeah, I think looks like it's going to be 4 new shoes and a bucket of for all these guys. Actually, 2 tires for Andrew Fayesh. Let's go back to the replay. Patton with a 2-tire stop. Andrew Fayesh with a 2-tire stop. Matt Busa, I know, I saw his truck. He took 4 tires. So will 2 tires prevail here at New Smyrna in the closing laps, Trevor? Who's to tell?
well, I don't know. I mean, we'll only have about a dozen laps to go when we go green here, and Andrew Fayesh has proven that he's been a strong contender throughout the night. So he realized that he couldn't make that pass on the track, so he decided to use some strategy, get out in front, and see that he can make his truck really, really wide and keep ahead of these guys. And you know what, JD? I mean, I've watched enough races with Andrew. I've spoken with him. I mean, he's kind of another one of those guys that we keep our eye on. And you know what? Even with just the 2 tires, my money's on Andrew to keep these guys behind him.
Yeah, you bet. And I'm going to put my money on the 77 truck tonight here to finish this thing off. I mean, if I was a betting man, you know what? That 77 was strong in the beginning. I think he's going to be strong here at the end. But then on the other hand, I should probably call my bookie and say, you know what? You want to put a little bit on that 34 machine, Matt Busa? I think he's got something for these guys. I really thought that he was really struggling at the end of that last run before that last caution. Didn't know if he's going to have enough stuff to get there, but he did. He managed to get up to the front there behind Cody Kunstler. Unfortunately, the caution comes out. This is a whole new ball game. Pace car pulls off. We're going to finish this thing off. Andrew Fayesh picks up a green flag. Brad Patton up on the outside. Andrew Fayesh off to a huge run. Matt Busa in the 34 fighting to hang on the bottom down here as they get down off of turn 2 down the backstretch. Cody Kunstler on the bottom of the track, the 34 on the top. 34 and the 91 duking it out here side by side down the front stretch.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the best thing that the 77 truck sees, the 34 and the 91, which are probably his 2 biggest contender. Not to shortchange Mr. Brad Patton, that 18 truck, but I think if anybody's going to pass the 77, it's going to be that 91 and that 34, and those 2 guys battling it out is just going to keep him just further out front and with that lead.
And the horsepower of that Cody Kunstler machine, 91, prevails. Matt Busa sitting back here in 4th position as Cody Kunstler now chases down Brad Patton and Andrew Fayesh up here in front. Andrew Fayesh with a solid run off the turns here. Brad Patton in the 18 machine looking for some comeback here tonight, Cowboy, after struggling pretty much all night long here at New Smyrna. 193 laps in the book, 7 more to go here, and we are winding down.
Yeah, definitely. We're just getting right to the end here. The 26 truck, Daniel Holloway, we talked about earlier, looks like he's struggling. He's way behind the pack here, still on the lead lap, but not by much. Hearing from the booth that that he got the wall on that restart there, so that dropped him way back to 12 seconds behind the leaders here.
Oh, and Brad Patton gets wicked loose behind Andrew Fish. That's going to bring the 91 alongside. Second place under attack here tonight at New Smyrna, the closing laps. 5 to go here. Short track Saturday night. Cody Kunstler in the 91 alongside of Brad Patton in the 18. Looking for position here. Cody Kunstler occupies the second position. Now chasing down the 77 of Andrew Fish. Brad Patton moves back to 18th as Matt Busa gets past him. Matt Busa putting the spurs to that pony of his, trying to get up there and duke it out with Cody Kunstler and Andrew Fish. Fish now side by side with Cody Kunstler off the turn to 77 on the top side. 3 laps to go here at New Smyrna.
Yeah, that 91 getting around the 18 truck was the last thing that 77 wanted to see, as he's now gotten inside him, and now that he's gotten that position on him, I think he's going to be able to make this stick. I'm going to have to recant on that 77. As he tries to squeeze him down and not give him any room, but the 91 makes that. Oh, and then they contact both the 77 and the 91 around.
All 3 of your leaders going around. The 77 gathers it back up. Cody Kunstler in big trouble. He is way off the mark. Matt Busa at the 34 out in front. And I'll tell you what an ending here tonight. 198 laps in the books. A caution comes out. The game is over, Cowboy. We're showing Matt Busa as the unofficial leader. And we'll wait for the officials to call the ball here. But I'll tell you what, that was a battle like none other. Short track racing here on Saturday night. What more could you ask for?
Yeah, and I'm guessing that the 91 and the 77 are probably going to have words. We're going to have to watch the down pit road as those guys pull their trucks in and make sure that we get some officials between those 2 trucks, as I'm sure neither driver is happy with the other guy at this point in time.
Looking at on the replay here, 77 and the 91 side by side up here, coming off of, I believe this is turn 4. They're coming, heading down the front stretch here, and the 91 just drifts up. We've seen this time and time. Drifts up in front of the 77. The 77 tries to get it back. He does down the front stretch, and then the 77 into the 91 going into turn 1. And that starts the action. They both spin around, taking out the front row, and Matt Busa snakes by for the win.
Yeah, it almost looked like the 34 truck might have made just a tiny bit of contact with the 77 just before it hit the 91, so I wonder if that was just a bing, bang, boom sort of thing where a little bit of contact here forced the 77 up to the 91, and that was all she wrote for the 91's chance at winning this race.
I think Matt Busa saw that happen, and it was a quick, quick thinking on his part. Duck down to the inside, stay out of trouble, squeak on by, and get the win. Brad Patton will finish second. Andrew Fish, the third, will finish third here at New Smyrna here tonight. Well,
we were expecting some fireworks at the end of this race here, and that did not disappoint there, JD. I mean, we had some close action throughout the night, and then at the end of it, we had a heck of a battle for the win, and it was not over until the fat lady sang, so to speak.
There you go. Brad Patton actually out here spinning the tires on the front stretch up here. Not quite sure what's going on there, but I know Busa is being scored as the winner here tonight as he struggles to get back up to the start-finish line up here and at least put on some kind of a show for the folks up in the stands. It is over. Matt Busa takes a trophy. Brad Patton, Andrew Fish, Chris Freeman, Christopher Schella, your top 5. Let's go ahead and take it to commercial break. When we come back, the post-race show here from New Smyrna Speedway, so don't wander off. We'll be right back. And we are back live in New Smyrna Speedway, and it is over 200 laps of short track Saturday night, and what better place to do it than with Integrity Racing, Cowboy. And I'm down here on Pit Road. I'm with our third place finisher here tonight, Andrew Fish. Andrew, you started out on the pole here tonight, had a strong run in the beginning, first 50, 60 laps, but then you seemed to go backwards. Tell us about your race.
It was a mess for multiple reasons. I don't know, I was up front, then got off sequence with some people, and I had to come back through the pack and got caught up in a wreck on the way. And I don't know, it took me a while to get back up there. And I don't know, I gotta apologize to Cody. I didn't want to wreck him. I was mad and frustrated, but I didn't want to wreck him.
Mad and frustrated. I tell you what, doesn't that come along with short track racing? The New Smyrna is less than a half of a mile, just a shade less than half a mile, a little bit of banking in the turns, but looked like it was hard to get around people from lap to lap to lap. Was it really that difficult to get around here at New Smyrna?
It was tough to set up passes, but as long as the other truck gave you a little bit of room, it was fine once you had them set up. But that was why I was frustrated, is I got next to Cody multiple occasions with like 60 to go and 30 to go and whatever, and every time I was next to him, he wouldn't give me any room on the bottom from middle to exit. And I mean, that was what was frustrating me, is that he wouldn't give me any room, and then he wanted room when he was on my inside. And we got together off of 4 because I tried to pay him back and not give him room like he was doing to me, and we got together off of 4. So I went to go back to the bottom, and he, ran the bottom going into 1 when I was like way too committed there. I would have been able to hold it down there. It's just, I think if he'd have given me a lane, I wouldn't have got into him. But I mean, I was frustrated, so it was a little bit stupid on my part. I should have just dove in on the top, but whatever.
All right. Andrew Fish. I'll tell you what, Andrew, I know you're a part-time host on the Rewind BS and Back Talk radio show. I got a funny feeling we'll probably be talking about this race next Tuesday night. But I'll tell you what, who makes it happen for you, bud?
I'd just like to thank Integrity and ETV for putting all this stuff on, and Butt Kicker for sponsoring the rookie points, which is cool. But yeah, I do want to apologize again. I didn't want to wreck him. I really didn't. I never try to wreck anybody ever, but I mean, sometimes it happens, and I don't know. I was going to the bottom, hoping he'd leave me at least enough room to not wreck us, and I mean, there was a little bit less room than I thought there was going to be. So I mean, it was my misjudgment, and I mean, all I can do is apologize. I know he's not going to want to hear it, so it doesn't matter.
Big apology coming out of Andrew Fish, a little bump and rub up there with the 91. But I'll tell you what, I believe Trevor Cameron, he's standing by with our second place finisher here tonight, Brad Patton.
Yeah, absolutely there, GD. I was just before, as you were finishing off your interview, I was just making sure that we didn't have Cody Kutzner's girlfriend roaming around, but I think Andrew's going to be safe from any retaliation on that side. But a great run by the 18 truck of Brad Patton, an up and down night, a lot of dings on that truck, but I saw you celebrating at the end, and I'm guessing that's because you know that you've secured your way into that chase.
Yeah, my whole goal for this race was just to finish and get locked into our chase. And at the beginning of the race, I was just giving people positions, everything like that. I'm not trying to go for anything. Wasn't trying to go for a win. Maybe lead a lap for a point, but other than that, I just wanted to finish a race and ended up working out perfectly there at the end with Cody and them and getting together.
Well, yeah, I mean, we were watching you all night there, Brad, and you had a strong truck, like you said. I mean, you were able to run up with those front runners there, and sometimes you just got to let luck shine on on your side there. But I mean, you as far as nights go, I mean, you ended up with a second place finish. You secured your place in the chase, and you even gained a little bit of positions in the Rookie of the Year position. So, how did you see that? How did you see that race unfold for you with all that on the line?
I don't know. Like I said, I was just pretty much just going for a cruise tonight, and I was hoping. I mean, it's New Smyrna. This track, I don't like this track at all. I know there was going to be a lot of wrecks, so I just wanted to make sure I finished. And yeah, like I was saying, I got lucky there at the end. I'll take a second place any day, and that's all I wanted to do was just secure my spot.
Well, secure it you did. I mean, that was the name of the game was surviving to the end, and you did an awesome job of that with that second place finish, and great points tonight in moving into the chase. So, who makes it happen for that 18 truck there, Brad?
First off, got to thank the league, of course. This is, like I say it every time I get interviewed, but this is probably the most fun league I've ever been a part of. Bud Light, got to have it. Bid, Break It Down Designs, they just took me on their team. So I got to thank them and thank my family and everybody for watching. It was a fun race.
All right, congratulations there, Brad. And I believe JD's just a little bit down pit road there with the driver of that 34 truck, Matt Busa, our winner tonight.
I'll tell you what, with the winning horse here tonight, the jockey Matt Busa, and I'll tell you what, Cowboy, talk about the struggle you had with the O2 machine. Working the turns here looked like it was quite a bit difficult. Looked like the top side was going to prevail, but let's hear it from your perspective, Matt.
Yeah, this track is really good for some side-by-side racing, but the outside definitely is if you're on equal tires at least, it's the side that will prevail. And he was running that really well out there. That's when I realized that this race is going to be really difficult to pass.
A little bit of banking and turn seemed to help a little bit, but we talked to Jacob Fife earlier when we had him up here on the radio during the race. He was kind of saying the same thing. You got to set yourself up pretty good going into the turn. Talk about the struggle later on in the race. You had a run going on the 91 up here, and these guys up here in front, but then you kind of backed off a little bit. You were stuck back there in third place. Was that planned? You just wanted to see what was going to happen up in front, or how was that shaking out for you?
Well, about like midway through the race, I'd say that I've started diamonding the corners. I would or not really diamond, I don't even know what it's called, but I was entering high and then braking really hard, driving in deeper than they were, but then cutting lower, like get my tires right on that line for exit, and that would give me a nice run down the straightaway. And when I fell off pace with them for a while, it was partially because I was like eating up my tires really bad doing that. But also, I have this, I actually moved into college just 2 weeks ago, and now I got a TV right next to this. So I had the Cup Series race on, the real life race. Now it was the end of the race, and I was really distracted, banging off the walls, not like half concentrated. And then towards the end,
now that's funny. That's got to be the classiest interview ever. I was watching TV while I was racing. Well, I'll tell you what, Cowboy, that last wreck there at the end, I mean, the 2 liters, Andrew Fayes gets into it with Cody Kunster. And what were you looking at out your windshield when you come around the corner? What did you see?
Yeah, down that front stretch there, I was actually going to look to the inside of Andrew, and I think I got my nose under him just a tiny bit, but like the second I got my nose under him is when he came down to try to get under Cody, and when he came down, I got a car contact because he came down like right on my nose, but it was so slight that it didn't like hook him at all. It just kind of pushed him a little bit forward, which is I think why he got into Cody. So I'm not really sure it was all his fault. It was just really just a racing incident that the second I got under him, he was also coming down. Just bad timing.
Okay, I'll tell you what, a new thing while driving here tonight, we don't text, we actually watch TV. Matt Busa picking up the trophy here tonight from New Smyrna. Matt, who makes it happen for you, bud?
I thank my teams, Nexus and Gale Force and Integrity, Michael Duell, Jacob Fife, for working really hard to get this league. It's one of the best in the sim. And you guys for broadcasting this lots of weeks.
Outstanding. I'll tell you what, Trevor, it was a short track Saturday night. I expected nothing less than what I saw here tonight. Matt Busa picking up the trophy, Brad Patton, Andrew Fayes, Chris Freeman, Christopher Sella, your top 5. And I'll tell you what, the duel between the 02 and the 34 early on. And then, of course, Cody Kunzer gets out in front. He racks up for the rest of these Cowboys. I'll tell you what, it was a horse race right down to the wire.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's what we expected to see. We expected to see a little bit of bang, and a little bit of some obviously some respect. I mean, like I said, you don't you're not up here in the booth every week, JD. But one thing that these guys do right is they give each other enough room usually, and there's some good respectful racing out there. You get on a short track and tempers get a little bit tighter, and the spacing gets a little bit less out here. But that was an exciting race to follow up on last week's exciting Kansas City race. It was great to be up here in the booth with you here. We've taken a week off as they get these guys a break before they head into the chase. Next week next time we'll be on the air. We'll be at Atlanta on September 21st on the Saturday night to start up their chase here. But it's been great being up here in the booth with JD. Thank you so much for standing up and saying, hey, you know what? Chad's off on maneuvers out in the jungle somewhere, so I'll stand up and I'll help you up there in the booth there, Trevor.
You bet. It's been an outstanding night. Appreciate it. Thank you very much. And from New Smyrna Speedway, and I'll tell you what, for all the boys here at Integrity Racing, and Laura Lawson, of course, pushing the buttons on the cameras down there, doing a fantastic job. That's it. We'll catch you next time around here on ETV Live, etv-eplay.net. Check the calendar. There's just a ton of racing coming your way. So with that, have a good night.
Join 5,000 plus other listeners where you can hear everything from big 80s metal to classic rock and roll, country radio, ETV Live Sports Radio, even adult and unplugged rock and roll. HDRadioNetwork.com, one of the fastest growing internet radio networks, HDRadioNetwork.com. Take it with you, cowboy. Get the mobile app for Android, iPhone, iPad, and all the rest from TuneIn.com.